From the 26th of November 2016, all boom sprayers in the UK have to be approved by the National Sprayer Testing Scheme. One test now does until 2020, and after that any sprayer over 3 metres wide has to be tested every 3 years, and any sprayer under 3 metres a retest every 6 years is adequate. Kerry Day is from Spray Sure Limited. Kerry, can you talk me through some of the points that you test before you even switch the sprayer on when you arrive on a farm?
First checks are visual. The most important one is the PTO shaft. If the shaft's not right, then we're going to walk away from the machine on health and safety grounds. We'd look at hitch points and everything to make sure the machine's securely fastened to the tractor and that the machine's in general good condition, no drips, the booms are straight and level, nozzle spacings are right, and that all the nozzles are the same as well. You can't have mishmash nozzles on the sprayer. So that, and hose condition, that'd be the basics that we look for before we start playing with water or testing pressures or anything like that.
No problem, Kerry. Thank you.
The next step would be to run the machine up to at least a bar above normal operating pressure, which on average would mean we would take the machine to 4 bar. We'd then walk around the machine checking for leaks again without it spraying, and that the lid and basket not leaking, not cracked. We would then move on to the taps. If it's got a chemical inductor on it, check that the chemical inductor's working correctly. We'd do the tank wash system as well. If the machine's not fitted with it originally, then if it's not there, we can't test it, so we just tick the box not fitted. It's not going to be a failure. We would then start to spray out of the nozzles. We would have a gauge clipped on to each section as we went along to check that the pressure live on the boom is the same as your gauge on the machine. At the same time as doing that, we'll be putting a jug under the nozzle and measuring the output of each nozzle, 1 nozzle per section, plus or minus 10% on those. We would then take the gauge off the machine and check that against our master gauge to make sure that the pressure gauge is accurate, so we know everything is tallying up then output to pressures. We'd also check that the gauge graduations are right, 0.1 of a bar graduations on it, and that it returns to 0. We'd also check that the tank is agitating while the machine's spraying. Sight gauge is visible and graduations on it. While we're checking pressures and such like, we're also checking when sections are switched off that the pressure remains the same. There's 47 items altogether, of which 9 are optional, such as lights, wheels and tyres, fuel, diesel leaks on the power unit, which you're not going to fail for, but we check them anyway to, you don't want bad indicators if you can't see your tractor lights.